Good morning, millennials. Welcome back to the Morning Toast and happy Thursday. Thursday.
I hadn't had a chance to process this morning that it is Thursday, and that's just a very welcome joy.
You haven't had a chance to process it because you're coming off a major mama victory that I think we should talk about.
A major mama victory.
An MMV.
An MMV. So I have been working on sleep training for the last few days because our sleep schedule was chaos. There was none. It was, I think, what people would consider not good.
I just don't think you can call it a sleep schedule because there was none.
And so we started sleep training. So if you're a mama, like, or, you have a baby that loves to sleep and that's not been something you've had to grapple with.
We're happy for you.
But last night we got 9 straight hours in the crib.
Woo woo.
9 straight hours in the crib.
Woo, woo. Rolled for the win, rolled killing it. Rolled out here just fucking killing it.
So I'm feeling refreshed, renewed. If you guys were on Breaking Bread last night, you know that I was at the end of my sleep deprivation rope.
Breaking Bread last night was a motley mix of chaos. We were both just feeling particularly unhinged. We didn't really abide by our Google Doc that we like to.
But we got through most of it by the end.
And I don't even care because I think it was our best episode yet, especially because you could hear Rolled crying in the background, which is just a beautiful sound.
Yeah. I don't know how much you guys can hear, but you'll find out on Friday when the episode drops on demand. And of course, as we went live, big news broke that Khloe is expecting a baby via surrogate imminently
with Tristan.
One Mr. Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
And we are going to explore all of that today. But it was really crazy to have to give your immediate opinion on something without having time to process.
No, I know. And people were coming at me because in the comments, because my overwhelming overall, I think it's a good thing. And people were just coming at me Tristan's not a good dad. So we'll get into all of that. But before we do, I have something to say. Claudia. And I know you do too.
Yeah.
And yours is way more important than mine, but
you go first.
If mine doesn't go first, then it'll get lost.
Yeah, I understand.
Because you're about to break some life-altering news.
I'm about to break some bread.
Yeah. But now I feel like people aren't going to focus on mine because I've hyped yours up so much.
No, I want to hear.
The pre-sale for my first 3 shows of NLog.
That's big news.
Are out. So that's Red Bank, New Jersey, New Haven, Connecticut, and West Hampton Beach, New York. Pre-sale started for Patreon members right now. So if you're a Patreon member, go get the tickets. If you want to become a Patreon member, you can get tickets. And then on sale for everyone starts tomorrow. But if you'd like, VIP tickets, close up, I would suggest becoming a Patreon member. Those are the first 3 shows of the NLog final leg. By the way, I need help with your brain, your word brain.
Okay, how can I help?
Okay, it's the final leg of NLog. Make something about, branding, marketing, genius.
Yeah.
NLeg?
Yeah. That's a little too close.
I know.
No, NLeg. It's the final NLeg. That was
wow, you really did get a lot of sleep.
That was the staccato version.
Yes. So 3 shows. There are more coming, of course. Portland, I see you see at. Actually, do I
have
see
a question
Portland?
for you.
Yeah.
Sorry to I feel like I always put you on the spot when you're announcing tour news because it's not all ironed out, and here I am asking you to iron. Roughly how many more shows do you think you're going to do?
12 to 15.
Oh, okay.
A decent amount.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's a good amount.
Yeah, through this year, and then 2022 will have been the year of NLog, never to be seen again, except maybe at a TV coming to you soon.
Oh, I would love that. That way I can memorize it backwards and forwards, like all my favorite specials.
So yes, Patreon members now tomorrow, Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, they go on sale for everyone. Now that my boring news is out, I think we should talk about, honestly, in the words of Camille Grammer, now we've said it.
Yeah, that's your new favorite quote.
I know, because what was I watching? Oh, Ultimate Girls Trip, when they were talking about, it's actually a dark quote because
now we've said it about Russell.
About Russell being abusive.
Yeah.
So it's actually not a good thing to quote. It's kind of like Sophie's Choice, a common phrase
did
that has a dark meaning.
Did they play it as a flashback?
Yes, and now we've said it. And ever since then, it's just sometimes you have, and now we've said it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So now I'm going to say a major life update for me, which is that I am moving out of New York City. I'm moving to Florida. And I'm very excited and I'm very emotional. It's very bittersweet because, all new things, obviously, but I'm going to miss
me.
It's been 15 years that I've been here. My half the family is here.
Theo.
Theo is here. The studio is here. And I just want to say right off the bat, the toast isn't going anywhere.
The most important thing is that not only is the toast going absolutely nowhere, and we have a Patreon episode coming out. We know you guys have a lot of questions, so we recorded an entire Q&A, like an hour-long thing about it. That's going to be on the Patreon right now.
With like more in-depth, how I'm feeling about everything, what this means, blah, 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 questions that I think you guys might have. But the most important thing is that the toast is not going anywhere. I built a studio in my new house so that we can do seamless remote episodes.
We have a stunning new integrated interface.
Yeah, so it's just going to be like nothing ever happened, except I'm going to have a whole new life and a whole new lease on life.
Yes, and so the most important thing is obviously the toast, this changes nothing.
Changes nothing.
If anything, I do think the last couple of months have been a little scattered for us just because of baby and move and just like personal stuff going on. So I do feel like once you're settled, we'll be back in a really good groove. And I think moving forward, we'll probably be more scheduled and organized than we've been in the past, simply because like now we have to be. You literally don't live here.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm excited for all of the change that it's going to bring to the show in terms of like the content and like what, the change it's going to bring out in me, just being like lighter. Obviously, if you guys have listened to the show, you know that like the city is not my favorite place.
You just don't like living here.
And I've always like not been a city girl. Like I talk about a Cleveland day, I want a farm time and lifestyle, but like the last few years in the city have been particularly terrible, and I just don't want to live here anymore, and I'm not going to.
Listen, you don't need to explain yourself. Like you are making the best choice for you and your family.
Yeah.
Literally, this is that scene from Kardashians. When they're on the phone with the lawyer and Khloe's telling Kim what to say, and she's literally, I'm making the best choice for me and my family.
Yeah.
It went viral on TikTok.
That's why it's seared into your brain. So all of the details are on Patreon. I'll be sharing more. I'm moving like in the next few weeks. So these are going to be the final studio shows. But like I'm going to be back. You will see me in this chair so many more times. And also when Claudia comes and visits me, we're going to podcast from my studio. And then she never has to go home because she can work from my house.
And I actually just figured out my first trip. It's really soon because I have a wedding in Florida in August. So it's on a Thursday and then I'll stay for like a month with you.
Can't wait.
Just make sure that my bedroom has a king-size bed. We talk about this on the Patreon.
We talk about the things that I need to have in my house on the Patreon so that Claudia will come. And then
because Olivia also lives there, and Olivia's home, stunning. Bedroom, freezing. Big-ass bed. Apple TV. Snacks. Kaler.
We have this whole combo on the Patreon, but in the last few days, I've been thinking of other things that I am going to get that are going to
entice me.
Tip the scales in my favor.
Well, the scales are just so in your favor because if I'm staying with you, we're going to podcast. And so like, why would I not stay at your house if the podcast studio is in your house?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I need to be dazzled because I'm very upset about this whole thing. Like this whole move, I think it's disgusting. It's offensive.
You'll hear Claudia's thoughts on the podcast. And also it's funny because we actually haven't spoken about it a lot with each other because it's just like too sad.
No, and I'm like 100% in denial.
100% in denial. Claudia doesn't like change, so the way that we deal with it is like we just don't talk about it. So talking about it on the Patreon episode that is live now, if you're listening to this, is the most we've ever talked about it and our feelings about it.
Yeah, no, and it was definitely like awkward and painful and not cool of you.
But we had to have this conversation, and I just want to let you guys know that my move is brought to you by Roadway and their new company, Move, M-U-U-V, Move. It is so awesome. I have worked with Roadway on every single move so far.
They did this studio.
They did this studio. They did all of my New York City moves. They did Olivia's Florida move. They have a new company called Move, and it's making moving even easier and even smarter. Roadway and Move have the most amazing movers. They get everything done. Honestly, you would think like moving would be so torturous, but some of my most relaxing days have been during moves. Like everything's taken care of. I remember one time I got a pedicure during a move. This time I was just popping in and out, just checking on everything. But honestly, they had it all in hand.
They're so careful.
Moving can be so physically laborious
and emotionally.
And so they handle all the physicality of moving so that you can just focus on the emotions and look forward to this new chapter in your life and not have to like stress about the actual physical move.
Yeah, like I've moved without movers from Roadway and I've moved like by myself, and I can tell you like movers is the way to go.
Movers is the way to go. Roadway is the way to go. And now with Move, you can move even smarter, even faster, even easier. And with my code Jackie Oshry 10, you can get 10% off of your move, which if you're moving, it is a great deal. So Jackie Oshry 10 at Move, M-U-U-V. You can check them out on Instagram at MUUV_US. A sister company to Roadway. We love sisters here.
Oh,
we're
so
a sister
true.
friendly
I didn't
show.
even put that together.
And honestly, I don't know. This whole thing would be even more stressful if I didn't have a moving company that like I just love and trust and have worked with and don't even have to sweat it.
It's so true, by the way.
Like physically moving is
it's literally back-breaking work.
Back-breaking, but you don't have to break your own back because they
Thanks to
have
Roadway.
people who are equipped and talented and skilled, and they make it easy, and everything comes the way that it left, you know?
So that's the big news. I just really, like, I can't stress enough. Like, I don't want people to panic. Like,
Me neither.
That's why we didn't even want to make, like, a big deal of it, because, like, literally nothing is going to change.
Oh, and by the way, if you listen to the podcast, nothing is changing for you.
This is for the YouTubers.
If I never said it, you probably wouldn't have even known. And also,
you would have known because our audio quality is about to become way better.
Way better. No more ambulances. Like, things are just
for me
on your end.
Yeah.
For me, you might hear a light breeze.
A bird chirping in the wind.
Yeah.
The sun shining on the lake.
I can't.
I know.
It's very exciting.
It's disgusting. So, patreon.com/morning toast.
Patreon.com/morning toast for more details, how we're feeling about everything, you know, what my plans are, and
and really how this is all affecting me, you know?
And how it's all affecting Claudia. I think everybody needs to be really, you know, sensitive towards Claudia. Tiptoe around her right now. This is a hard time for her because she doesn't like change, even though I feel as though it sounds like more change than it is.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly, like, can we talk about something else? Like, I hate this.
I know. But I just wanted to let everyone know. But it's really like nothing's going to change around here. You know that the toast is my favorite thing on earth.
And we'll be doing it till the day we motherfucking die,
right.
bitch.
And nothing, no amount of distance between us.
It's true.
Is going to change that.
And absence makes the heart grow fonder. So I think you're about to fall even more in love with me,
I know.
Jax.
Sometimes, like, when you go on vacation or we, like, podcast remotely, like, it's so nice to miss you.
It's true. I mean, is that why you're doing this?
Yeah, because I want to miss you and love you even more if that's possible.
That's sweet. So yeah, that's what's happening. Nothing's going to change, and we have a great show for you.
We can say that we have a great show for you because of the news that broke last night.
There are big stories. Wednesday's episode from yesterday, we didn't have time to do Dear Toasters, and there's one Dear Toasters that's like one of your biggest pet peeves, something that people do, and I can't wait to hear your take on it. Like,
I wonder what you think one of my biggest pet peeves is.
Maybe not a pet peeve. It's something that you find so unethical.
Oh.
Do you want to guess?
Something I find so unethical.
When it comes to dating and relationships.
Reading someone's diary?
Yes! Oh man, how did you know that?
Because we're so simpatico.
We're so simpatico. So yeah, somebody read a diary and found something they didn't like, and that's what you get.
That's what you get when you delve into someone's feelings. Like, of course,
Jackie, that's literally the definition. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah, and like, just like we were talking about intrusive thoughts. Like, if anybody ever was able to see your intrusive thoughts, somehow they would think that you were psychotic.
That's what reading a diary is.
That's what reading a diary is. Like,
it's
your
so
innermost thoughts and feelings.
It's so fucked up.
Wow. Okay. Looking forward to that. But I think without further ado, we need to jump right in because the top story of the day is just taking the world by storm.
It's on the tip of my tongue, the teeth, the lips.
The tip of my tongue, the teeth, the lips. Without further ado,
where are you? You are home and sleeping.
Oh, Streisand boys, we love you. Come back to work.
Come back to Yad Auntie.
Just a shout out to Bryson Strassen.
Always.
Never
in our hearts.
Without further ado, it is time for the Fast 5 stories that you need to know before you wake up and take a bite out of your morning toast.
Yes, you.
You, yes, you.
You, yes, you. Are you
no
ready?
one else.
I have nothing to say. We're on summer break, girlie. That means I'm free.
Our first story, Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson are having a baby boy via surrogate, say sources. Khloe and Tristan are expecting a son. Multiple sources confirmed to Page 6,
as did
including
Khloe.
her rep. So last night news broke on TMZ that Khloe is expecting a baby via surrogate any day now, if not already. But I do think it's not here yet.
Same, because Khloe's statement was like, it's coming.
She said via her team, we can confirm True will have a sibling who was conceived in November.
Will have a sibling. So it's not here yet.
Okay. And I love that she's telling us the conception date because you know that's what everybody is so worried about. Was it pre or post Theo's revelation?
Mm-hmm. Theo being the son of his mistress.
Yes. Khloe is incredibly grateful to the extraordinary surrogate for such a blessing. We'd like to ask for kindness and privacy so that Khloe can focus on her family.
So let's go through the timeline.
Yeah.
Khloe found out about Theogate, which is such an unfortunate coincidence, can I add, in January. Mm-hmm. The conception date or like the implantation, whatever you call it, when was that?
November.
Got it. Okay. So the timeline is clear.
But what's
weird... if baby's conceived in November, when does he arrive?
10 months later.
Which is?
November.
September.
September. Yeah.
Maybe end of August.
Maybe end of August, yeah.
Okay. So the timeline adds up. Obviously, she didn't have another baby with Tristan knowing what he's done. She's not dumb.
But what's weird is that when they were freaking out about Theogate, Kim said, if this isn't a sign to have a baby with this person, I don't know what
As if the baby wasn't already.
As if it was still just a twinkle in their eye.
An idea.
I mean, maybe, you know how sometimes like when people get pregnant, especially I feel like with the Kardashians and like their later pregnancies, the first one I feel like everybody knows and everybody shares. But then later, you know, she might have not told her sisters yet because the surrogate would have only been about 1 month pregnant. And sometimes you don't tell people till like 3 months.
No, for sure. But I feel like she would have told Kim. You don't tell people, but you tell your sisters, especially a family like that. Like, everyone knows everything.
That's true.
And I do feel like that's definitely an oversight on, like, the editing. Like, if they're trying to hide something here.
But I don't think Kim... I mean, I guess they do, like, act their way through everything sometimes. But I don't think Kim was not being
No, that
honest.
was, like, a raw moment.
I agree. That's what I mean.
I mean, I guess we'll find out, well, like, exactly when the baby arrives, when the birthday is, et cetera, and we'll be able to put it together. But I'm definitely under the...
They said conceived in November. She said it.
I'm under the impression that this was long before she found out, which makes the whole thing even more heartbreaking. But it's important to remember at the end of the day, like, this is a child, and a child is a blessing. And it doesn't really change Khloe's life that much in the sense that was always going to have to be a part of Tristan's life. They co-parent, and they were going to have to do that until True was 18. So why not get another baby out of it? We know she wanted more children. So I don't think this is like that crazy. And
I think it's amazing, honestly. Like, Tristan, no offense, is irrelevant. The more he fucks up, like, the less Khloe will have him around. And, like, what she wants is more kids. And
he makes beautiful babies.
Yeah, and she, like, they have a sweet family, and, like, Khloe and her babies, like, that's going to be it for her. And instead of having to, like, you know, meet someone new and go through this whole process again, like, just get a brother for True.
Yeah,
and you got a brother for True. And now you also saw Tristan's true colors. I'm sure we talked about this on Breaking Bread last night. I'm sure January and February were really hard for Khloe, like learning this information with a baby on the way. But I'm sure today Khloe is nothing but
excited.
Over the moon excited. It's everything that she wants. And Tristan is still like the irrelevant person that he was before and would have been even if it was only True in the picture. So at least Khloe has another baby, which we know she's wanted so badly.
And she really did want it with Tristan.
Yeah.
So you know what? It's really not that bad. And we're all like, just processing all this information now because we just got it. But you're right. Like, Khloe's probably at a place of complete peace with this.
And yeah, the information has been processed for Khloe. And so I think today Khloe is doing great and is just so excited. And I was saying on Breaking Bread last night, I'm so excited for new mama energy from Khloe. Like, maybe.
And it's again like she's having a baby similar time to Kylie. Like,
I know.
Their kids are just going to be so simpatico.
And the girls always say they want to have their kids close in age. So I think for Khloe, it was very important to have a sibling for True while True is still little, as opposed to, you know, waiting and seeing who she meets and this and that. Like, she got what she wanted, and I'm so fucking happy for her. And as Claudia said on Breaking Bread, I have toxic positivity when it comes to children these days. And it's so true. They're just such a blessing and a bundle of joy. And just, I'm so happy for Khloe. And I know that, like, the headlines make it seem salacious because anytime it's Khloe and Tristan, it's like, But I think Khloe, and I think even before her and Tristan got back together, like, I really don't think
she cares.
She cares about him. You know, aside from him being True's dad, like, I think she wrote him off and saw who he was a really long time ago, but it's just her situation.
Yeah, and she's making the best of it. And I feel like maybe at this point she's looking at Tristan as like a sperm donor.
Yeah.
Just a really involved, famous sperm donor.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, Khloe gets to expand her family, True gets a brother, and her life, her day-to-day doesn't really change. Like, Tristan is going to co-parent with the new baby the same way he would True. So it's all the same. And Tristan's busy, he plays, he has other kids. Like, I don't think he's really up her ass that much. He was for a while.
On the show, he's up her ass. I hope she doesn't let him near her ass anymore. Like, I think she was allowing...
I read a statement that their relationship is, like, exclusively co-parenting.
Gorgeous.
And, you know, when you take the emotions out of it, it probably makes it a lot easier to co-parent in a rational and, like, fair way.
And I wonder how the businessman feels about all this. I wonder how Shaq will feel about it.
Yeah, so let's talk about the alleged boyfriend that Khloe has, businessman Beau. That must be exciting. Like, you know, you really can have it all. It's not like she's pregnant so she can't, like, go out on dates, you know?
True.
Surrogate affords a level of luxury. It's like, oh, I can literally have my cake and then come home and deliver a baby, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of everything.
Yeah.
The more I hear about surrogacy, the more interested I am. Like, I think it's so iconic. And I know that's not why people do it, because, like, being pregnant is such a blessing.
Yeah.
But the way that I'm just, like, at the place I'm at in my life, I'm like, oh my God, have someone do it for you. That's everything.
It's not even about where you're at in your life. It's just about, like, who you are to your core, which is, like, pain-averse, change-averse,
Right.
and like pregnancy is all of those things.
But I'm also a really family-focused girly.
Right,
So, like,
right.
obviously kids is important to me.
Of
but
course.
like, the idea of, like, literally being impregnated and giving birth is so far-fetched to me. It's crazy.
I know.
It's crazy. So I'm just learning a lot from the Kardashians.
Yeah. No, I think this is beautiful news. I am so happy for Khloe, happy for the whole family. It's going to be such a simcha. And
I guess we're going to see a lot of this unravel. This is also, and I don't think they planned it this way, but this is just the Kardashian effect. Like, we just got the trailer for the September or whenever the show's coming out, season 2.
also, I think that this has successfully been the best kept Kardashian secret of all
To
time.
date, yes. Because even when
There
I think
was not a whisper, not
Yeah.
a Jumois item
That's
about
true.
this famous family has another baby coming.
You know, that's so true. Because when I think of, like, the biggest kept secret, I always think of Kylie's pregnancy. But even
everybody
then,
knew.
towards the end, like, people were like,
was
she's
an open
pregnant.
secret.
Yeah.
It just wasn't confirmed by them ever, but everybody
right.
had speculation. You know, people saw the stroller and the name
Mm-hmm.
and things delivered to her house. Not a soul whispered about this.
That's actually so true. It's obviously, I think, easier to keep a pregnancy secret when you're not the one who's pregnant.
Right.
So comparing Kylie to Khloe, but you're right. This is definitely the best kept secret.
Mm-hmm.
There must be probably 5 people who know then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sisters. Also, we did some name predictions on Breaking Bread last night, and I just want to share our predictions. So first we were looking at Khloe's grandparents' names, and she has a grandpa named Arthur. So I thought perhaps we have an Arthur. And then that made me realize that's
Arthur George.
Arthur George.
Socks, yeah.
Arthur George Socks.
The most successful
It
of the
came
Kardashian
to me in
companies.
my sleep last night. I was like, Arthur George.
Oh, well, that happens. Like, we're so, like, I'm so, like, the show is, like, so literally, like, in our DNA. Like, I will literally think of things I should have said, think of things I'm going to say the next day, like, in my sleep.
No, me too. I was like, that's why it's Arthur George. Okay, and then my other prediction for the name, because obviously Robert is a very meaningful name to them, it's Khloe's dad's name, it's her brother's name, and it's Chris's dad's name. I don't know if you knew that. So I think it would be a Robert Jr., but that's Rob Kardashian. So Robert Jr. Jr., RJJR,
Roger.
That's my prediction.
Roger Thompson.
Roger Thompson.
Roger third trimester Thompson.
Roger that Thompson.
Roger Thompson. The Roger Durer.
What is your prediction for the name?
By the way, when it comes to pop culture, like, nobody slays like me. Like, I know everything. I'll challenge you to a debate till I die. When it comes to baby name predictions, not only do I, like, literally not care, like, you know how many fucking names there are? Like, you're not right, bitch. Like, no one is ever right. There's literally millions of names, and most celebrities make up names. Nobody was ever going to guess True because it wasn't a name until True.
Okay, except that True is in their family.
Okay, you know what I mean. No one was ever
They
going to
had
guess
a grandpa.
Apple Paltrow.
Right.
So I don't like guessing celebrity names because I find it dumb and a waste of time. Like, you're not going to get it. And even if you, like, are close, like, good for you. Like, what do you want? A prize?
I don't know. I just, after having named a human, I'm very invested in the process.
That's fair. Maybe I'll feel differently if I
Yeah,
ever name. Actually, I named the.
I don't recall if I was this invested before I had the burden of naming a human.
Because it really is a burden.
Oh my God, it's so hard. Look at Kylie.
Right.
Except we saw the baby's legs in her Instagram stories.
Gorgeous, delicious legs.
And that Kylie's baby.
Smooth and shiny.
Butter.
Love that. We did get a little sneak peek.
So that's the big news of the day. I'm so happy for Khloe.
Just why I feel like this is such big news is because, like, nothing really shocks me anymore, you know? Like, we've really seen it all here at the Morning Toast. But this is just something so unexpected. It's nice to be surprised again. Thank you, Khloe.
And that's also because I do think a lot of big news is sort of dulled when there are rumors swirling. The first time you hear it, you're like, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
Then you hear it again, you're like, oh, I already heard that. And then they confirm and you're like, we all knew.
Right.
The fact that this was just out with the confirmation, it struck you.
Right, that's kind of like what's happening with Emily Ratajkowski.
Yeah.
It's like known that her husband has cheated on her and they're filing for divorce. But literally I went to make it a story today and it's not been written up. I'm like, so how do I know this? Like, everyone just knows it. So when the inevitable, like, Instagram post or PR statement comes out, we won't be that surprised.
Right, but if that statement had come out without you ever having a
Thought
clue,
about it.
Oh my God, I would be shook to the core.
Yeah, so this was really like a bombshell.
A bombshell.
Kardashians, like 20 years into the game, still on top.
Still on top.
Still keeping
doing
us
it.
on our toes.
Are you ready for our next story?
I am.
An attorney has ignited a nasty feud with Erika Jayne after putting an offer on her former home. One of the lawsuits involved in the many ongoing lawsuits against Erika Jayne has bizarrely announced, one of the lawyers, has bizarrely announced he's attempting to buy her and Tom's former home. Ronald Richards, the former trustee attorney on Tom's bankruptcy case and current attorney in a $5 million lawsuit against Erika, announced on Wednesday that he and his wife put a $6.9 million offer on the Pasadena, California estate. Is it just me, or is that a great price for this house?
Right, with the chapel.
He quipped that he hopes to have Erika's deposition there along with other players in the case and wants his followers to see how the victim's money was spent by the star and her estranged husband. He also said, "We will use it as a public forum on First Amendment activities, something Erika and her legal team are strongly against. They want secret hearings and trials, not public scrutiny."
I find this like so weird. Like, this guy's so invested in this. Like, of course, like, you want your lawyer to be like on your side, but like, he seems like he has like a personal vengeance. This is just like taking it a little far. And like, don't you have to have depositions in like an office? Or I guess he's gonna make his home his office and then legally can have depositions there.
And make it like into some sort of museum, because she said, she wrote back to him on Instagram.
And the fact that this is all happening on Instagram makes this whole thing
Twitter,
like illegitimate.
How are you going to get this museum past the Homeowners Association? I think they like their privacy.
True.
She also said, "I knew you and your wife were super fans. This really confirms it."
No, this is definitely weird.
She said to his wife in a comment, "Does it bother you that your husband is obsessed with me?"
Honestly, like, her responses are kind of on like fire flames. Like, this is just like weirdly personal, you know?
Yeah. This is very bizarre.
And it seems like his real grievance is against Erika, when up until now there's really no proof that Erika had any knowledge of any wrongdoings, and definitely didn't have any wrongdoings herself, right?
Up until now,
so it just feels weirdly personal, and like he's airing a personal grievance in his job. And the whole Instagram of it all makes it even more weird to me. Like, if that was my lawyer, okay, let's say I'm a part of the people who are owed money, a settlement. I hire this lawyer. He's trying to win me and a couple people $5 million. And I see him on Instagram, like, buying houses and getting into comments with, like,
getting
I'm like,
messy.
It's
the
so
messy
messy.
lawyer.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
And I don't think it'll end up happening. So he's going to buy the $7 million home for what?
It's a nice house.
It's by the way, it's a very unique house. Like,
yeah, but why did I think it would be worth way more than $7 million?
That's a good question. I do think when you sell a home at bankruptcy, like, it's like the bank takes it. Like, I don't.
Is that what it is? Is that what's happening?
I don't know. But Tom, he was the trustee of Tom's.
Yeah.
So does that mean he's responsible for listing the home and buying it? That seems like he's literally like cutting some corners.
I don't know. This is so confusing and beyond my
level
knowledge
of it. Yeah,
you know.
But that's true. I guess, what was it, 6.9? Mm-hmm. Does seem kind of low for like a Pasadena estate.
And in this economy,
right, with the chapel
and inflation
and the gardens, the greens.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this pool. Remember when she had that party out there?
That party like didn't fit at that house. You know what I mean? It was like a turn.
It's a very long house.
Yes, it's like, you're right. It's narrow.
Yeah, but that just might be like the lots in Pasadena.
Right. So this is so fucking weird, and honestly, I'm incredibly confused.
Yeah, me too. But I feel like stuff like this like clown show that's happening in Erika Jayne's life actually
works in her favor
because, again, it's like we get distracted. We're like, oh, this stuff is messy. It's not that serious. You know, people are making it personal.
It's true.
And it desensitizes you to the crimes.
That's actually so true. And also, where the fuck is Tom?
He's in that home.
And he's just like gonna like die there?
I guess so. I mean, because his family, like Erika said,
wouldn't step up.
Won't step up.
Does he have kids?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Very weird end of this story.
It's
like,
not the end. It's just like a weird
bookmark
derailment.
No, and you're right. It does make Erika look good. Like, that everyone around her is acting chaotic like clowns. This is clown shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get wanting to like stick it to Tom. Like, I get it, but this is like weird. And Erika's right. Like, it does feel like,
stick it to him in the courtroom.
Right. It feels personal and weird. What, you're gonna have a deposition in her master bedroom? Like, it's just weird.
Yeah.
It is like he's kind of like obsessed.
Yeah. Just a fan.
Just a fan.
Are you ready for our next story, which Claudia hand chose because she's obsessed with everyone involved, and
yes.
She just talks a lot of smack, but at the end of the day, it's because she's a fan.
Of course.
Anstead congratulates Tarek, Moussa, and Heather Ray Young on their pregnancy. Well, it's Heather's pregnancy. I just want you guys to know that.
Ooh.
Like, after having been pregnant, it's Heather's pregnancy.
Agreed. He congratulates Tarek on his wife's pregnancy.
Yeah. And that used to not bother me, like when people would get like,
we're pregnant, bitch. What did you do?
No, but other people would be like, no, you're not. She is, and I was like, just let them be pregnant.
Right.
I got it. I got it.
You're apologizing to the mamas.
Message received.
Yeah.
And Anstead congratulated them on expecting their first child together. He said, huge congratulations, you two. He commented on Instagram, thrilled for you all. If you don't remember, he was previously married to Christina Hack Anstead Moussa, who is Tarek's ex-wife.
Did her and Aunt ever get married? I think they maybe just dated.
They were married.
Oh, damn.
Both
okay.
Anstead and Moussa were previously married to Hack, who is now married to Hack.
Aunt is now dating Renee Zellweger, even though I don't know if they're still together. They were spotted once, but like I like to imagine that they're happy together. And Christina is remarried. So let's take this step by step. The first is that Tarek and Heather are engaged. They were trying for a while.
They're married.
Sorry, I mean, are they pregnant?
Yeah.
They're pregnant. They posted, some Chugalicious content, and we're happy for them. Baby is a blessing, like we were saying. But now let's talk about the Aunt Anstead of it all, because him commenting on his ex-wife's ex-husband's new wife's pregnancy.
It's the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right. So there's obviously bad blood between the Ansteads.
Of course.
Formerly known as the Ansteads.
There was a divorce.
And this is just,
he went over to Team El Moussa.
There's so many people involved. And I was actually thinking about this as I fell asleep last night. Like, when
Claudia thinks about the El Moussa Ray Youngs as she goes to sleep at night.
When Tarek El Moussa and Christina Hack Anstead El Moussa got divorced, if you would have asked me, like, who would have ended up in the messier situation, like, no doubt would it have been Tarek. Like, there was that incident where the police were called to their house. He took a gun and ran up into the mountains, like, screaming at everyone. I was like, Tarek is going to be the one who ends up, like in a crack den or something. Like, he's obviously the one who's unwell, and that's why they're getting divorced. I just did not see, like, him literally, like, stable, same girl, engaged, like, so traditional in a sense. And Christina, I think, is on her third husband. There was Aunt, Tarek, there was another guy, and now there's this guy. Hack.
Yeah.
It's just...
No, it's like, how people count sheep when they fall asleep? Like, Claudia
I count El Moussas.
Claudia thinks about the web, the love rhombus, and it gets so confusing that it tires out her brain and she falls asleep.
No, it's true. Like, even though I'm so invested in the story, I still can't even, like, fully tell you all the names of people Christina's been married to.
Yeah, because what's Hack's first name?
I'm going to say Jonathan, but I just made that up.
Let's see if the article shares
there's kind of like the element of mystery that I have around this story also makes it so exciting,
What's the mystery?
That I don't know any have these people's names.
Oh.
And there's also something weird with the Hack.
You are right. She married...
like a real estate agent.
Yeah, she secretly wed Joshua Hall earlier this year. Who's that?
Right.
Who the fuck is that?
And the weird thing is that Hall...
Oh, Hall is Hack.
Wait, what?
Christina Hack secretly married fiancé Joshua Hall. So maybe Hack is her maiden name? Got it.
But Hall... Jackie.
This could put me to sleep.
Jackie. It gets even crazier. Hall has a sister.
Who has the podcast.
Who used to have a podcast with Heather Ray Young.
Okay, wait. It gets more confusing because now I'm looking at the wedding license. And Christina El Moussa Hacks also has a maiden name here, Mursinj.
So she was married to someone named Hack.
So Hack isn't a maiden name. Unless Mursinj is just her middle name. No.
I just can't believe there are girls out here who, like, spend so long looking for love. Like, and Christina's out here, like, getting married 4 times. Like, I'm actually jealous. She must be, like, a delight, to get so many men to marry you. Like, it's not easy to get it one time.
It's not easy to get it once.
Right. Like, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. And she's out here doing it annually.
Yeah.
And I just think that's impressive. And honestly, I have a lot of respect for it. I do.
And we're happy for Heather and Tarek, truly.
We are. It's nice. Like,
and they had their show, and, like, I think this is what both of them want. This is their dream life, and they're living it.
Heather Ray Young is, like, living
her best
fantasy. Like, I don't think she thinks anything that's happening to her is real. Like, she got her own show, which, coming from a ensemble show where she's really not the most interesting or not the main event or whatever. This is a dream, and she's got the man, she got the baby, like, and their recipes are on Us Weekly. Like, that's a dream for Heather.
It is.
And I'm happy for her. It's really nice to see people living their dreams.
It is. It is really nice to see people living their dreams.
Like, knowing, like, everything that's happening to them is exactly what she wanted and tried for. Like, that's such a blessing. And a baby's a blessing, too. I think that's the name of today's episode.
A baby is a blessing.
It is.
Are you ready for our next story? Tom Brady is opening up about how his wealth is the hardest thing about parenting.
No, I know.
It's really hard.
I feel for him, you know, like,
so,
must be so hard.
He was on a podcast, Spotify's Drive podcast, which, you know, that part we do love.
Which isn't as popular as the Morning Toast.
And he thinks that his and Giselle's wealth is the hardest thing about raising their children. He said, quote, "We have people that clean for us. We have people that make our food. We have people that drive us to the airport if we need that. We get off a plane and there's people waiting there for us, and we get ushered in."
Not people.
He said,
so sad. Oh my God, this is moronic.
he said, "That's my kids' reality," which is the hard part, to say, guys, this is not the way reality really is. What can we do about that? What he's saying is he's like giving his kids this unrealistic expectation for life, and like, how do you raise normal children in that situation?
By the way, I understand exactly what he's saying. Like,
so fly commercial. What's stopping you?
right. Move into just a regular stucco house.
Take the tram to the airport.
Yeah. Take the subway, Tom.
Yeah, but then you know what? Then they do that, and then we come here and say, why are they doing this
true.
when
Like,
they
you have a limo? So true. I do understand like what he was trying to say. Like when you grow up, when Tom and Giselle didn't grow up like that, so you know, how do you teach your kids? You want to give everything to your kids. You want to give them the best of the best schools, the best everything. But then you also want to, you know, have them grounded in reality. Like, I get it. It blows my mind that it didn't cross his mind to shut the fuck up. Like, we're literally headed for a recession. Like, people are unemployed everywhere. Like, literally, like, nobody feels bad for you, sir.
No, I don't think he's trying to make people feel bad for him. I think he's just talking about his life, which is what you do on a podcast, and like telling someone to go on a podcast and then shut the fuck up about like the things that they think about. Like, I think that this is the sort of quote that, taken out of context, sounds a little like tiny violins, but he's just talking about his life, and like, yeah, he's raising kids, and the hardest part is that like we have an unrealistic life, and like him and his wife, he talks about how she grew up in a rural Brazil, the farthest state south, with a very small kind of farming town as a very simple girl. He grew up in a middle-class family in California where his dad worked his ass off, and like those circumstances allow them to be the people that they are, and like their kids are growing up in different circumstances, and that makes it hard to raise them as the people that they want them to be. I don't think he's trying to say feel sorry for me.
No, you're right. Taken out of context, like if I were to sit down and listen to a podcast where I want to learn about Tom Brady, like obviously I wouldn't find this so like hilarious, but in the context of a Page 6 story, like it does sound so dumb. But he's just sharing his life. I guess that's fair. That's totally fair.
And like, that's what we want people to do on podcasts. And even if you have like, you know, a thought that's not sympathetic
or relatable,
like, you're Tom Brady, you're not supposed to be relatable.
No, and also like everyone is entitled to like say what they want.
Yeah, but also it's like, say you're, you know, you and your wife like grew up and you are proud of the people that you are, but you have these circumstances and you want your kids to grow up the same way. Like, really, how do you parent them in the way that you were parented when they have all of these things that are so far beyond reality?
I think there are ways to do it. Honestly, you know what comes to mind for me, which has weirdly like always stuck with me? It's such a random niche reference, but when Lisa Rinna like first joined the show and she made her daughters work at that deli, even though they were like models and like superstars, there are little things you can do to like ground your kids in reality, or to at least let them know like how blessed they are. Like when Crystal I don't know why all my references are from Housewives, but when Crystal and Garcelle did Thanksgiving at a soup kitchen, you know, like there are things you can do, not to show your kid like this is what real life is like, but just to be grateful for what they have, you know? So there are ways for sure. I mean, this is definitely something I struggle with Theo, you know? I'm giving him everything, like this unrealistic life, and he doesn't know that it's not like that for other dogs. And so I actually really, really relate to this.
He's NLOD.
100%. Not like other dogs.
Yeah.
So this actually extremely relatable for me. I probably will tune into this podcast and take notes.
Yeah. Anyways, just like always celebrate big stars going on podcasts.
That's true. That's a lesson here.
And like talking about themselves in ways and opening up in ways that they don't normally do. Because if they get a lot of shit, they're not going to do it anymore.
That's true.
And that's bad for the industry.
And, you know, that's the kind of content you get from a podcast. Like Tom Brady was never going to open up about this on like Jimmy Kimmel, you know?
No. He was going to tell like a stupid story about like what his kids did on the plane.
Right. Totally. Literally.
Are you ready for our fifth and final story? And I'll just tell you the headline instead of trying to like explain what it is without saying what it is, sure. Because Noah Schnapp has revealed where him and Doja Cat stand after the DMs drama. So we spoke about this on Breaking Bread last night because if you don't know, on Breaking Bread, we have a really fun segment called the Sixth Story Award, where Claudia and I each share a story that didn't make it to the Fast Five, but that like we feel personally invested in. And Claudia talked about this Doja Cat Noah Schnapp drama.
Beef. If you don't know, Doja Cat DM'd Noah Schnapp privately.
He's from Stranger Things, if you don't know that either, which, you know.
He's 17. And I guess they had like followed each other. They had some connection that made her comfortable to reach out to him. And she was like, can you set me up with, I forget his name, Joseph, one of the new castmates on Stranger Things. He's 29. And Noah Schnapp was like sending Doja his Instagram, like DM him, whatever. Then Noah Schnapp posted the private Instagram stories, posted the private messages from him and Doja on his Instagram story, like blowing it up. And Doja then like attacked him and people were like, Doja, chill, he's 17, he's a minor. She basically called him a snake, he's not socially aware, and that's some snake shit. And then everyone turned on Doja because, like, why are you coming after a kid? He's 17, like, chill. Doja ended up losing a couple 100,000 followers, and Noah Schnapp ended up gaining like 1 million, which is such like a weird thing, like to unfollow someone for. Like people on the internet, like wielding their unfollowing like a weapon. Like, we don't fucking care. Like, unfollow. Like, we'll be fine.
Like you say, this is not an airport.
You do not need to announce your departure. So now I guess Noah Schnapp is revealing where they stand because people turned on Doja Cat. Even though, like, I did understand her frustration. Like, he's a kid, so he didn't know better, but, like, can anything be private? Yeah.
No, I understood where both of them were coming from, but it's just not, like, the biggest deal. It's not like the DMs are so embarrassing, and, like, he is a kid, and, yeah, probably not socially aware, like, to realize, you know, the biggest star in the world DMs you, just keep that to yourself, like, be cool about it. No, he's fucking excited, and he's posting about it.
So what did he say was the update between them?
So he's setting the record straight on where they stand. He sent a TikTok video with her song playing in the background. He said, guys, everything is all good. I apologize and I still follow her and love her music. No hard feelings.
Okay. I'm sure, like, in private, he's like, this is so dumb and I hate her. But
I'm sure she's saying the same thing.
Right. But
and I just want to know what Joseph Quinn thinks.
Right. Well, so that's like kind of, you know, the untold story of this entire saga is, do they get together?
Definitely not after this.
Yeah.
I don't think it showed her in like a great light as, you know, this compassionate, understanding, loving person.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if you mess up and do something socially unaware, like, you're finished.
You're done.
You're done.
This is just like such a weird saga. Like, I didn't have that on my bingo card this year. Like, Noah Schnapp, the kid from Stranger Things, beefing with Doja Cat.
Do you know who Noah Schnapp was before this?
Yes, only because I don't watch Stranger Things, but because he is also like a TikToker.
Okay.
Like, he's, I think, probably one of the most followed kids from that show. Not Millie Bobby, obviously, but he has like a huge social audience. He might have even been like a digital king before. He has like I don't really know, but he's like got millions of followers.
Got it. Cool. Good for him. And now, you know.
Now even more.
He's got another mill under his belt.
So that's just the teeny boppers are fighting, you know?
But she's not a teeny bopper.
Right.
But she's just like funny, you know?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, there's probably nothing in the world Doja Cat could do for me not to like her. Like,
yeah,
I just find, first of all, her music is supreme. Like, literally, you cannot show me another person making better music. And her social media personality, like, she's just funny. She, like, understands internet culture, but not in an annoying way.
Yeah.
In a condescending way. Like, it's just funny. And and she's literally gorgeous. Like, I will never not stand Doja Cat.
No, I agree. And also, sometimes, like, being
I'm sorry. And she's Jewish. Do you know that?
I knew that she's partially
half
Jewish.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
It counts.
But being that like funny internet person who's like candid and speaks their mind on everything, like you are bound to get into situations like this where you say a little too much, you take it a little too far, and it's just like
the price of doing business.
The price of being funny on Twitter and Instagram and sharing your thoughts and feelings.
Ain't that the motherfucking truth, bitch? Now let's dive into Dear Toasters, our advice segment that we usually do on Wednesdays, but we didn't have time yesterday, and I'm glad we do have time today because now both episodes are going to be like a delicious hour long.
Delicious.
Dear
and
Toaster.
There's Patreon too. I don't know if you guys like left when I made my announcement and went to Patreon and are now coming back, or if you're waiting until this episode's over and then you're going to Patreon. How would you do it? I would finish the episode.
That's just because I'm like OCD. Like I finish what I start,
Me
and then
too.
I don't like to like read 2 books at once.
No, I agree. I couldn't listen to 2 episodes at once.
No, that's like psychotic.
Let us know what you did.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Dear Toasters is our weekly advice segment. You can email us, deartoasters@gmail.com. It is totally anonymous, and you can write in about anything from friendships to work to wedding to hygiene. We got some good ones today. They're all kind of different, and I'm going to read them.
You know what I was just thinking?
Yeah.
Like when Khloe moved into her new house, she probably knew that she had a baby on the way.
Yeah.
And like, that moment was probably even more sweet.
Emotional.
It's like she kept saying like, this is going to be me and True's forever home. And it's like, this is my family's home, you know?
It's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
And I just...
Now if we go back and rewatch the season, like with the understanding that some of the older episodes, and the final episodes, like she knows she might be having a kid, like it changes things. Yeah. That's like finding out the ending of like Shutter Island and then rewatching it again, like knowing the truth, you know?
It's the exact same thing.
It really is. And you know what? That's the lesson, is like all roads lead to Shutter Island.
It's all about perspective.
100%. And then like you go back and watch Shutter Island and it's like so fucking obvious. Like how dumb are you? You didn't realize that. And maybe that'll have the same thing with Kardashians on Hulu.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I did hear that the first season was directed by Martin Scorsese, so it makes sense.
No, I heard that too. Hey, Jackson Claude.
Hey.
My friend needs your beautiful, stunning, and smart advice on this quandary she has found herself in.
Okay, we'll do our best.
Sally has been dating her boyfriend Jack for 9 years. They just bought a house together and they are very much OTP. However, Jack has been in a bit of a slump lately, and to try and help him out of it, he started a diary. Sally got curious, and in the spirit of trying to understand what's going on and help him through, she snooped. In the diary, she found he'd been writing daily about the things he's grateful for, i.e. grabbing his favorite coffee, going on a walk, but then he mentioned he's grateful for his chats with a female coworker who Sally does not know. What should she do now? Reveal that she snooped and ask about it? Try to casually bring it up? Absolutely nothing and take this to the grave? Help. Signed, a snooping Sally and her toaster friend.
Absolutely nothing and take it to the grave.
Okay, however...
I would just try and think of, you know, what are these chats about? It's not like he's saying, I'm grateful for the sex with my coworker.
I'm grateful for my big dick in her ass.
Yeah. So like maybe you could
okay?
Maybe you could engage with him in some chats and try and be that person for him, but you cannot act on the information that you found in a diary unless you're so disturbed by it that you're going to end your relationship, period.
Right.
Like,
unless it's like I committed murder, you
right.
know?
And in that case, like just go to the police,
run,
and leave.
Take the diary and run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the lesson here is to not. I'm all for snooping. Like if you have a suspicion, I think reading people's text messages is like really invasive, but like I don't think all snooping is bad.
Yeah, no, but also text messages are different because that's like outward behavior. That's something that you're putting out into the world for another person. They're almost like actions, whereas diaries are just thoughts. And if you saw every single person's thoughts, if you could read someone's mind, you wouldn't like what you saw.
Yeah.
And that's what a diary is.
No, it's really fucked up. So the lesson here is not to read diaries. But now that you have this information, just keep it in the back of your mind. Like, obviously don't act on it or do anything. But like, if he starts to exhibit like, you know, weird, you know, he starts disappearing or like, you know where to look first. But for now, a chat is a chat. And maybe you're right. Like, it's indicative he's looking for like a deeper connection. Like he's having a meaningful chat with some random bitch at work, like, and it makes him feel seen. Maybe you're not making him feel seen or something.
Or maybe like whatever he's going through, he feels like he can't talk to you about it, but this girl at work, like they're able to talk about this thing. Like I would just try and find...
Which is a slippery slope, by the way.
Yes,
like,
no,
oh,
I
my
agree.
girlfriend doesn't understand me.
Okay,
Gotta talk
if I read this, like I would be like all consumed by it.
Yeah.
And I would be fucking shook and like, oh my God, there's another person who's like having honestly an intimate relationship with my boyfriend, because having those sorts of chats, enough for him to write in his diary and you don't even know this girl, like it's a level of intimacy. It's not like cheating or anything, but they're connecting on a way that you guys aren't. So if you want to take some action, I would try and find a way to connect with him and be that person for him, and just try and focus, like try and fill that role.
And I have to say, I don't really feel like there's anything nefarious going on with the girl. Let me tell you why. Because even though like a diary is extremely personal, there's something like if you were having an affair, like I don't think you would ever write it down. Like there's something about putting it into the world that like makes it real. And I feel like affairs are things that like people keep in their mind. Mm-hmm. You know, like it almost seems like the fact that he wrote it means it's innocent. You know?
Yeah.
Even though it's a personal diary, like it's just kind of crazy to be like, oh, I had such a great time with my mistress today. Like
right. No. I agree with that. But like, what would you do?
Oh well. Okay, so Ben's writing these having meaningful chats with Sally at work. I'd probably kill Sally. I think that would solve everyone's problems.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what I would do. I don't think I would ever admit to reading someone's diary because that says so much about you. It's like, it's a really fucked up thing to do. So I wouldn't admit it, but I'd keep my eye on fucking Sally for sure, while also nurturing and working on my relationship.
Yes.
That's what I would do. Mm-hmm. I was joking about the murder.
And then
I feel like
transferred.
If I ever get to a place in my life where like I'm like framed for like some sort of crime, like all they have to do is comb through these episodes where I say I'll kill random people. Like need to erase my entire like YouTube hard drive.
Yes, but on the other hand, you've also said you would take numerous bullets for people.
That's true.
So I think they
what God giveth, she taketh away.
So they balance each other out.
Right. And also I actually do think about this often. The fact that our podcast is in the I know this sounds crazy. The fact that our podcast is in the comedy section and like it's an art form, there is a law, like if someone wrote a song about like killing someone and it ended up like matching up with a murder, you can't use the song lyrics as evidence because it's art.
Wow.
I saw an SVU episode about that, so I don't know if that's like entirely legally true.
You know what it sounds to me like?
Like we're artists?
The law is reason free from passion.
Actually, yes. The law is reason free from passion projects. That's the law.
Canva Pro, write it down.
So yeah, I often think about that. All right, next up. Hello, Claudia and Jackie. I'd love your advice on a predicament I'm in. Over a year ago, my aunt gave me a fur coat of hers since I was moving to a colder climate and I needed warmer clothes. I knew it wasn't my style, but I took it anyway to be nice. And in case I was
nice.
She said it wasn't her style.
How bad could it be?
She was taking it in case she was suddenly invited to a formal event that she needed a luxurious coat for. Fast forward to now, I've never worn the coat, so I decided I should sell it on Poshmark. When I was looking at the original cost, I was shocked to see that it was worth $3,500. I've had this thing worth thousands of dollars just sitting in my closet. I truly thought it might be a couple $100s max. Now that I know that that's the cost, is it wrong of me to sell it? Should I try giving it back to my aunt? Granted, she lives in another state, and I don't know when I'll see her again. What's the right thing to do here?
Wear it.
Yeah, by the way, I don't think you can sell it without her permission. That's like extremely fucked up. And maybe she gave you the jacket like as a loan, and then like when maybe you move back or she moves somewhere close to you and she wants her coat back and you sold it, like you can't sell it without her permission.
By the way, it might be the sort of thing that you can't appreciate right now or like have no use for, but like that is something that is a forever piece. Keep it.
Yeah, well, also you just can't sell it because
that's wrong. It's not yours to sell.
It's not yours to sell.
It's yours to wear.
And it's like a thoughtful gift, and maybe it's like a family heirloom. And also, these things increase in value over time. So, like, the longer you wait, like, the more it'll be worth. Mm-hmm. Don't sell it, for real. Okay, final one. Hey, Jackson Claude, congrats on the bebe, the tour, the spritz, TikTok fame, and everything.
Thank you.
So my problem is that my roommates don't shower enough and they smell.
Ugh.
For example, this weekend we went to wine country in Texas and we were out all day in the Texas heat wine tasting. So obviously when we got back, I wanted to shower and not smell gross, but they think changing clothes is good enough. I will repeat, it was the Texas heat, over 100 degrees with no breeze. Now our Airbnb is going to smell, and the same happens at our apartment back in the city. I know you guys addressed a smelly friend on Dear Toasters before, but how do I address a woman and a man who refuse to shower more than what seems like twice a week? Now I'm not saying hair washing. I'm just saying body washing because we live in fucking Texas and it's summertime. Any advice how to be as non-confrontational as possible? Thanks, ladies.
That's horrible.
I'm glad you made the discrepancy between, because like I don't really believe in judging other people for how frequently they wash their hair. But washing your coochie is a must, a daily must.
Especially in the heat.
Yeah. In summer.
Like for me, I would just not live with these people, you know?
I know, because it's like you're fundamentally different. Like,
yeah, and you can't change people. And you can't like say you need to shower more. You're not their parent.
Right.
Like they want to live this life like that. They want to go around being the smelly person. Like that's their prerogative.
Right. They're adults making a conscious choice not to shower. And it's not like, I think it's always different when someone has like a problem, like a smelling problem. Like they shower, but they smell. Like people have different sweat issues. Like this is just a choice not to be hygienic. And that means that you two, like the three of you, are so fundamentally different as people. You probably shouldn't live together.
I don't think you should renew your lease. I think that you should find other roommates. Like there are things as roommates and co-living partners that you all need to really agree on. You don't have to have a conversation about it, but you have to have the same sort of values. Like temperature in the house,
music volume. Are we having parties? Are we not having parties?
Right. What kind of home? What kind of vibe? And I would say hygiene, smells, showering would be included in that.
Yeah.
And I don't think you need to make a big announcement or tell them this isn't working out. Like they can still be your friends, and then you can go to wine country where you all smell, and then you go home to your fresh sheets and you smell good, and your new roommates smell good too. I would just extricate myself from the living situation.
Yeah, I agree. This is just like people being different.
People are different.
Right. And we're nuanced, complex human beings. And finding a roommate is one of the hardest things in the world. Like someone you really jive with. You can never live with someone who's like your best friend, because that's like too toxic, you know? Like has to be someone you like. Like there's a balance to finding the perfect roommate, and you have not found that.
No,
so
keep looking.
Keep looking. And maybe for the meantime, like, stop taking your friends on outdoor Texas wine tours in the heat. Like, go bowling. It's air conditioning.
Yeah, but they probably wouldn't shower after bowling.
Go to the
either,
movies.
And that's nasty. At least the sweat is their own germs. Bowling is other germs. Like, did you shower when you got home from your birthday? Or did you get into bed with your bowling self?
Okay, you know what? I didn't even think about it because, like, I went to the club afterwards and I didn't get home till 4. So I was thinking, no, I got straight into bed. You're right. And that's literally disgusting. But my sheets have been changed since then.
Okay.
But I actually did not think about that. That's actually disgusting.
Yeah, no, I was like, when we were bowling, I was like, I wonder how many people here are going to shower when they get home. Probably not a lot.
Should I write in the group chat and survey the group?
Yeah, no, I think it would probably be like 15% showered.
Because you went home, you and Zach went home, my friend Margot went home.
I think the 3 of us showered.
Yes, but everyone else went to the club and was out really late and, like, drunk. No one's going to take a shower when they get home. And people probably forgot that we had bowled, like, you know?
Yeah.
So that was Dear Toasters. Again, if you ever want to write in, it's deartoasters@gmail.com. That was our show. That was the final episode of the week. We're back in studio tomorrow. We're still on summer break.
Nope, we're back in studio on Monday.
So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, and then we are officially back. Summer break is over.
What summer break?
Yeah, what?
What summer break?
This last 2 weeks, like, scattered episodes.
We missed 2 episodes.
Well, we couldn't tell people what we were actually doing, which was you were getting your life together because you're moving to another state.
Yeah.
So we called it summer break, and I'm, like, living for it.
We missed 2 episodes. It's not a break.
We're missing 5 total.
Including next week.
Yeah, 5 out of 10. So summer break.
Half.
Summer, because we're on summer break. But we couldn't say why because Jackie didn't want to tell anyone she was moving until today. So I was being creative and inspiring with my summer break.
I think people felt really inspired.
That's what we do here at The Morning Toast. Thank you guys so much for listening to The Morning Toast, the Millennial Morning Show, where we deliver the fast 5 stories that you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast anywhere podcasts can be found: Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, CastBox, all the places. Wherever you listen to podcasts, find us, The Morning Toast, and leave a 5-star review about how beautiful, stunning, and smart we are. Hope you guys have an incredible day, an incredible weekend. We're back in studio on Monday. We love you guys so much, and we will see you then. Bye.
Patreon.com/morningtoast for all of the moving conversation. See you tomorrow on Monday. Bye.